Hey guys, this is MugenLord, and I thought today we could talk a bit about a particular game that I have interest in, and that's Dissidia Final Fantasy. Now, I know most of you are not particularly interested in most of my coverages of Square Enix games, but I thought in this case it'd be quite different because Square is trying to accomplish something a bit different with this title. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Dissidia Final Fantasy series, it was first debuted on December 18th, 2008 on the PSP, and what made this game quite interesting is the fact that Square had finally decided to bring together most of the main heroes and villains from Final Fantasy 1 through 10. This game has certainly gotten me hype on its release because now I finally have a reason to play my PSP and also be able to play my favorite Final Fantasy characters in a way that I've never seen before. But it seemed like Square Enix wanted to take a different approach to their all-star Final Fantasy fighter. It blends a bit of RPG elements found in the traditional Final Fantasy title while combining real-time action combat found in the Kingdom Hearts game. Fun fact, Kingdom Hearts director Tetsuya Nomura wanted to create a spin-off to the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and as the gameplay began to shape itself within development, they later decided to add in Final Fantasy characters instead. Now that's out of the way, Square Enix is no stranger to creating fighting games, but they aren't too great at designing them either. If I am correct, Turbo No. 1 was one of their first attempts at designing a fighting game alongside Dream Factory, and even though I'm a fan of the game, I do realize that that game was far from perfect. But let us not forget their second attempt at designing a fighting game, with another fighter called Urguys, God Bless the Ring. This featured Final Fantasy characters on the front cover in order to cash in on the success and hype of the Final Fantasy VII game, which was released about a year or two before this game had launched, and we all know how that game was received by fans. Now that Kingdom Hearts has become a success, Square Enix has decided to create a fighting game based around the Kingdom Hearts-esque kind of fighting game system for Dissidia Final Fantasy. Now, this game has been held in such high regards among fans that it ended up selling 1.8 million copies, but the main issue I had with this game is the fact that it was a PSP only title, and I had no opponents who owned a PSP or a copy of the game to face against. The game was quite addictive, but I later dropped the game because of the lack of multiplayer options available for me. But this issue has now changed, because June 7, 2017, Square Enix had released an official PS4 reveal trailer of Dissidia Final Fantasy, which will see an early release of 2018. Now, this game has been around for more than about a year now in the arcades of Japan, and they have been slowly adding more and more characters to the game launch of this title for the consoles. So why? What does this game have to do with the FGC, or the fighting game community? Well, it seems like that Square Enix is taking serious measures in ensuring that this game will possess some form of competitiveness to the game. For one, Square Enix had teamed up with Team Ninja, responsible for the DOA series, to help design the overall gameplay mechanic. Then, in a recent interview with the game director Kujiroka, suggested that Dissidia Final Fantasy has potential to become a competitive fighting game. Now, before I press forward, do many of you consider a game such as Dissidia a fighting game? I often see debates within the FGC about whether or not games like Smash Brothers or Pokken Tournament are accepted as fighters. Dissidia combat mechanics does possess traditional fighting game rules when trying to deplete your opponent's health. The game utilizes a fully open 3D world or arena where players can run around, take cover behind walls, and jump on platforms to gain control over position in the field. Now, with the upcoming PS4 sequel, Square Enix and Team Ninja decided to step things up a bit by giving each character a particular role they can play in this 3v3 style of gameplay. You can be a tank, support, and more. The game is looking to aim for esports scene, and to show how serious they are about reaching out to the competitive community, they had K-brad and Justin Wong, who are both high caliber players of the FGC, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this game at launch. But for now, I want to know, what do you think of Dissidia Final Fantasy? Is there room for this game in the FGC? Do you consider this to be a fighting game? Would this work as an esport title? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you like this video, then make sure to like, favorite, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Dissidia Final Fantasy videos and video game related content. This is MugenLord, signing off.